slow load in tonight. We really only got the space at like 6:15, so we had to sort of wrangle this. And for a show with no sets and no props and no props. Nothing else, it takes a little longer to load than we think. This show is Liberty City Radio Theater. If you got a program when you came in, you'll have learned that Liberty City was started in 2016 as a way to pay tribute to Dean Cogan and the Society Hill Playhouse. Society Hill Playhouse for over 60 years was sort of a bastion of, as we say, highbrow for the lowbrow and lowbrow for the highbrow. What Dean and Jay did there for Philadelphia was remarkable for many, many decades. It was one of the few self-run theaters. There was no big organization. It was literally just two people creating great art and really amazing stuff for years and years. Society Hill Playhouse was one of the first integrated theaters in Philadelphia, first to do writers' workshops in theater, first one to take and do street theater in urban environments in North Philadelphia. So when they closed, we were fortunate, this company was fortunate to be their last show there. We wrote a show specifically for that. When the theater closed, we inherited a lot of its things. The curtains you see behind us, we carry with us like home plate from every theater we go to remind us of our time at Society Hill Playhouse and of Dean. A remarkable woman that I know I was and our cast was honored to have met and worked with, even briefly. Yeah, I'll stop there before I get too weepy. This is our 9th production. We've been doing this for 4 years, 9, yeah, surprisingly. Doesn't seem like it. We sort of started out thinking we would do this every month, and then I realized how hard it is to write a show, and it takes a lot longer than every month to do a show. But our original cast has remained remarkably intact. Through that time, we've added some folks, and plus and minus a few, but very few minuses. And this is our final performance with our original cast intact. We're losing a couple of members to head out west, and so this is a great honor for us. We want to do the show to bid them farewell, and so we're grateful for that. It is an old-time radio show, so when you see this, we're on the air. When you see this, we ask you to indulge us and laugh along with us and at us if you want to. This show is very high and tight. I'm going to turn this off. I'll remind myself and you. Now is the time to turn your phones off if you haven't already. I hadn't, so that's a really good thing. Other than that, exits are here and here. Oh, I want to say special thanks to Theater Exile and Deborah Block. Up until about a week ago, we didn't have a location for the show. We had a couple of locations that we had talked about, and we had gone into negotiations, and things just sort of fell through. And out of the clear blue sky, I called Deb, and she said, absolutely, the house is empty. And to Sebastian Munheim, whose work is behind us. She's a really amazing creative space artist and does amazing, bizarre things that are great. And she's the artist in residence here right now. So look for their work. Come back and see the space. It's a brand new space, so we're glad you found it. Wasn't exactly an easy space to find right away, but we're glad you all found your way down here, and we're grateful for that. So with that, I've talked enough. At 7:30, we should start the show. So, boys and girls.
It's time for tales from the atomic age, telling tales of twisted future times beyond tomorrow. Out of silent glass clouds of legend yet to be, from the edge of human reason, we journey into the unknown. Brought to you tonight by the South Street Art Mart, where the inexplicable and bizarre meet every day. Art, pop culture, weirdos, and you. Our story begins just on the outskirts of town at a little place the local kids call Make-Out Point, where we find a lone car with a pair of amorous teens in the backseat, steaming up the windows, living up to the location's name, when suddenly a flash of lightning and a thunder awakens the still night sky.
Oh, it's nothing, baby. That's just my heart pounding for you.
Oh, Steve.
Oh, Nancy.
But little did the calculating couple know that a flaming meteor from outer space had crashed not so far away and was filling the air around in with waves of cosmic radiation. Caught in these undulating microwaves was the strangest of creatures.
Steve, please. I'm sure I heard something.
Oh, all right, honey. I'll go and look if it'll make you feel better. You just keep the motor running until I get back, all right? See, I told you there was nothing to worry about. There's nothing out here but Old Man Dundee's petting zoo. Well, there's nothing down there but... What the... Who? Oh, it can't be. Oh no! Oh!
Steve, stop fooling around. What is it? What's wrong? Oh my God! It's... Ah!
The next morning, calls from all over the county of knocked down trees and damage are lighting up the phones. The local sheriff and his deputy are called on to investigate.
Oh, golly, Sheriff Hopper, what do you think could have done something like this? I mean, look at that car. It's smashed like somebody just stepped on a cow patty and tried to wave it off. And there's no sign of anybody around. It just don't make no sense.
Well, I've seen stranger things, but not like this. Look here, Dan. Look down yonder. Whatever did this came from down the hill. You can see the path it took from all the broken trees just smashed as flat as this Buick.
Why, that leads all the way down to that crazy old man's farm. Maybe we should go take a look.
Now, that's the first smart thing you've said today.
Don't worry, I won't make a habit out of it. Hey, look! There's a note on the gate. Sheila, gone on walkabout. Make sure to feed the roos and the kookaburra. What the Sam Hill does that mean?
It means he ain't here. Best we look around. Be careful. He's got all kinds of critters running around, and some may be a little snippy.
Great googly moogly, Sheriff. Look right over there on the other side of the fence. Somebody smashed that shed right to pieces.
Go back to the car and grab my rifle. I'm gonna go take a look.
Inside the barn, what crashed the night before in a fiery blaze of glory was now reduced only the size of a small watermelon, or a cantaloupe, or a duck-pin bowling ball. You know, a little bigger than a bocce ball, but not as big as a full-size bowling ball. Either way, hardly big enough to do any damage.
Is that it, Sheriff? Just that little round rock? It hardly seems big enough to do all this damage.
I just said that.
Sorry, I was out of the room. So.
Hey, Sheriff, you notice anything weird about this shed?
Other than that giant mural of Olivia Newton-John riding a ute?
Is that who that is? I thought it was Kylie Minogue, but... No, look at this mess. I mean, if that little rock flew in from up there, the debris should be knocked in, but all the roof and everything's pushed out like something done broke out. And not something like that rock, neither, but something big. It's just like what happened to Encyclopedia Brown in the case of the peculiar pachyderm of Pittsburgh.
That's very clever, Dan. Those night classes are really paying off.
I'm sorry, Sheriff, it won't happen again.
It seems like that rock is putting off some heat. I wonder if it might be some sort of meteor. Better call in Professor Grant. She's the best man in the country for that sort of thing. Here, hand me that water bucket and that shovel. I don't want to touch it.
A few minutes later, inside the hallowed halls of Liberty City Community College, we find Professor Rebecca Grant, woman of science.
I'll tell you, Doc, it's the gold darndest thing I ever done seen. There was this Buick. It was just smashed as flat as a hotcake on a Sunday morning with the side bacon. And then we went down to the old man Dundee's farm, you know, the one that's got all them little critters for the kids to be petting and feeding. And well, anywho, we gets down there, and the whole barn is smashed like a sorority girl on rush week. But the funny thing is, don't you know, it looked like a twerk mat smashed from the outside. No, but from the inside out. That's where we found this here glowing cantaloupe.
I'm merely a professor, not a doctor. Thanks to those logger-headed Luddites down at the Rotterdam Academy for Bugs and Germs who said that my theories of transmutation, extraterrestrial radiation were, and I quote, hogwash. If you can manage it, please try to refrain from the overly colloquial subjunctives. This is an erudite urban audience after all, and they're not accustomed to your folksy banter.
Sorry, Professor. I did not mean to perpetuate a stereotype of us country folk being rubes. In fact, many of our world's greatest geniuses have come from humble origins. Take Tenzin Gyatso, His Holiness, the 14th Dalai Lama, who was born on the small Tibetan village, or Bob Dylan, who grew up in a rural farm in Minnesota, or the Norwegian world-class champion of chess, Magnus Carlsen.
That's enough, Dan. We get it. Listen, Grant, Dan here might be a bit rambly, but he pretty much summed up what we saw. What do you think might have happened?
That's quite the tale. And you say that the shed was broken from the inside out. Fascinating. Any idea what sort of animals were in that barn?
No clue.
Don't forget the pictures of Olivia Newton-John.
Wait, who? Down at the old Dundee farm? Oh my, it's much worse than I thought.
What do you mean? Do you know what we're looking for?
I'll need to run some tests on this specimen. Check back with me in a few hours. But if it's what I think it is, there's only one thing we can do.
What's that?
Head for the hills.
Later that day, down at the Delancey Street Diner, where the locals gather to gossip and occasionally eat, today's special, fear of the unknown.
No, it's not. Today's special is the clam surprise.
But where they get the clams from is unknown.
What do you have, Ed?
I'll just have a cup of coffee and that cherry pie you're so famous for, Donna.
One Joseph and the Virgin Mary coming right up.
Oh, hey, Luigi, did you feel that? I felt the whole place shake for a second.
Hey, what's the matter with you, huh? First, you don't order the clams. The clams, they come on a special. They're so delicious. They come up from the mountains. Like cool kind of extra nice. Then we take the clams and we soak them with a spicy sauce. Then we take the clams and we take the pasta fagioli and mix it all really good. Hey, what's the name? Oh, I think the clams, they're coming back at me. I kind of feel this in my stomach if it's coming from the outside.
No, it's coming from the outside, right? Something like the earth just moving my feet.
Here's your coffee, Pat. Say, what's wrong? What's going on outside?
things. That's it. No more clams for me. I think next time we don't use the Rocky Mountain clams. They don't sit right.
It's not the clams. My God, would you look at that?
It's coming this way. What do we do?
Everybody, we're gonna run! Ave Maria, it's gonna smash right into us! He must really like the clams!
Meanwhile, St. Liberty City Hall. A worried Major Marjorie Biggles is trying to get some answers.
Listen, Hopper, I need some answers.
Doesn't anybody listen to me?
We must have had 30 calls so far about trampled yards, knocked down trees, cars crumpled like tinfoil. What have you got for me?
We went down to see Professor Grant.
That nut job? She shouldn't even be allowed to teach remedial Spanish.
Yes, but she is the only man for the job.
Hello? What? Who? What? When? What? Okay, stay calm. We'll get someone over there right away. Who was there? That was Donna over at the diner. She said it was just smashed to pieces by some sort of giant animal.
Did she say what today's special was?
Dan, get over there right away and make sure nobody is hurt. And see what's going on. I'll be there as soon as I can.
Yes, sir. I'm going to see if they have any of them clams left soon.
Hello? Hello, Mayor Biggles. It's Professor Grant. I was looking for the sheriff. Is he there with you? Grant. Just the person we were looking for. The sheriff is here. What can you tell us? Well, if my tests are correct, it looks like I'm due for an apology from those chuckle-headed clods at the Calcutta Institute for Nuclear Pest Control and Microwaves. They say my ideas were, and I quote, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Grant, pull it together, man. What the devil is going on? Well, based on the sample that the sheriff brought me and where the media landed, I believe what we are dealing with is an atomic powered Macropus giganteus. A 47-foot tall kangaroo. A leaping marsupial mammal indigenous to Australia, New Guinea, and adjacent islands with a small head, large ears, long powerful hind legs, and a long thick tail, and comically small front legs. How the hell did it get here? Well, it must have been one of the animals at the petting zoo, and when the fireball landed... Did you say fireball? From outer space? Generally, fireballs do come from outer space.
Except for on ladies' night down at the elbow room. They come with shot glasses.
As I was saying, this meteor seems to have affected its pituitary glands to hyperactivate and cause it to grow to monstrous size.
So what she's saying is that we have ourselves a gigantic 3-story atomic-powered killing machine on the loose.
Professor, do these things eat meat?
No, Dan. They're herbivores, meaning they are like the proverbial murderous panda in a bar.
How's that?
He eats, shoots, and leaves. Wah, wah, wah. Grant, this is no time for your academic grammar humor. What can we do? Given that this thing's atomic appetite is hard to say what it might do. Contrary to myth, they do not box, but they have been known to rip the legs off a dingo. But our most imminent danger is of trampling under its path.
Can't we just shoot it with a gun?
I fear that this extreme growth will have made its hide impervious to traditional artillery. Now, in theory, if we could find a way to grow a giant goanna lizard or import 300 Tasmanian devils... No, we've got to do something. This is an election year. I'm going to call in the National Guard. Maybe they can help drop an H-bomb on it. In its current radioactive state of flux, that could cause it to double in size, or worse yet, you could really make him mad. We need a kangaroo expert. Hopper, get down to the zoo and see if you can find the answers how to take down that animal. Meanwhile...
Hey, that's my line. Meanwhile, in the town square, Deputy Dan tries to maintain some order as the residents are beginning to panic.
Rolling and screaming in terror!
All right, everyone remain calm. Everything is under control. It was just a freak windstorm, that's all. Just some wind. Nothing to see here. We have everything under control.
All right, who's in charge here? Somebody's crumpled me farm like a can of Foster's.
Old man Dundee! I am glad to see you. Something terrible has happened.
You're damn right about that, mate. I went out for a couple of days ago and walkabout and come home to find the whole place smashed and good old Bruce missing.
Who is Bruce?
Bruce? Not what, but who?
He's me prize room and me best friend. I had better get the sheriff down here. He can explain all of this. Where's my walkie-talkie? Sheriff Hopper, this is Dan. Do you read me? Over.
Go ahead, Dan. I can hear you. Over.
I've got old man Dundee down here, and he wants to find out what happened to Bruce. Over.
Who's Bruce? Over.
I'm thinking the one that smashed the diner and the cars. Over.
Take him over to Grant's office. I'll meet you there. Over.
Yes, sir, over.
Meanwhile, back in the laboratory, Professor Grant is poring over test tubes and microscopes with great fervor.
If I can just isolate this particle, it might be possible to reverse the polarity of neutron flow of the meteor's radiation.
Professor, are you in here? We found old man Dundee. He might be able to help, but it was his pet.
Why does everyone keep calling me old man? I'm only 35.
It just sounds better than crazy drunken jackass Dundee.
No argument there. Although, I always prefer to be called Gator Dundee.
Gator Dundee? Is that supposed to be some kind of joke? Or?
No, mate, that's not a joke. This is a joke. What's the Kangaroo's favourite kind of music? Hip-hop. Because he hops around all day, and he's cool like that rapper Jay-Z.
Listen.
You get it?
Yeah. Listen, we need a plan to contain and destroy that thing before it kills someone. It's already flattened out the diner, the record store, and the old Society Hill Playhouse. The National Guard says that since it's an Australian animal, it can't act without clearing it with the diplomats in Washington, and that could take weeks.
You'll not kill me best friend, you uppity Sheila.
But if he can't be stopped, he could wreck the whole county.
Well, I have a theory. You see, if we could inject it with enough neutrino ions, it just might reverse the effect. But there's no way to get a needle big enough to penetrate his hide. Is there any other way we can get it into his bloodstream?
Vegemite.
Vegemite.
Aye. Bruce loves nothing more than a Vegemite sandwich. He'd go anywhere for it. We all enjoy our favourite breakfast, lunch, and tea.
That might do it.
But sure, but how are we going to get enough for a 500-pound appetite?
I just went on walkabout, and on my way back I picked up my annual supply. You can't get good Vegemite stateside, so I have it shipped in by the pound.
How long will it take you to make enough of those Nutrigrain dealies, Professor? A couple of hours, but with no way to test it, we won't know if it works till we try it.
I could load the Vegemite up with some horse tranquilizers. That should slow him down a bit, so at least he won't stop off.
But you don't have any horses at your farm.
I have them for purely recreational purposes.
But how do we get him back to the farm? He was last seen headed toward the high school, and tonight is the Sadie Hawkins dance.
Towards the dance? That gives me an idea. Something I saw back in the barn. Dundee, get back to the farm and start getting the bait ready. Mayor, you call the school and try to get everyone clear. I'll meet you there. Dan, wait here and get the professor down to the farm as soon as he has his serum ready.
What are you going to do, Sheriff?
I'm going to go get some ice cream.
Shortly before sunset at Liberty City High School, Sheriff Hopper arrives ready to set his trap in a rather strange conveyance, just as a low rumble is heard in the distance.
truck with a giant unicorn on top. You can't drive that thing.
I can do anything I want. I'm the chief of police. Trust me, Mayor Biggles. As bad as it may have been, Dundee's joke reminded me of something I read in the National Geographic. You see, some animals have very sensitive hearing and are drawn to certain sounds, and that creature's been heading towards buildings with music playing. That old playhouse was still doing nonsense. The record store, even the jukebox at the diner, and now Sadie Hawkins dance. I'm just betting our big beast has a favorite number he likes to dance to.
And you think the ice cream truck song is what it wants to hear? That's the most annoying song in the world.
No, not that. Something from down under. Way down under.
Meanwhile, back at the farm, Dundee is finishing up spreading the last of 500 Vegemite sandwiches as the deputy and the professor arrive on the scene.
Now about to do all the biscuits. I'm flat out like a lizard drinking.
Professor, it looks like the bait's ready. Now all we need is your secret ingredient.
Here, pour this all over the food. Well, we can only hope this works. If it does, those pendejos down at the Tijuana Conservatory for Chupacabras and Astrophysics are going to owe me an apology for calling me, and I quote, El burro sabe más que tú.
Bless you. If not, at least those horse tranquilizers should slow him down.
All right, there's enough special K in there to make an elephant fly. Not a figure of speech, literally.
What's that? Do you hear it? Something coming off in the distance.
An ice cream truck.
No, that's the sexy siren song of sweet Sandy from Sydney. That sheriff of yours is a genius. Good on you, mate.
My God, it's humongous!
That's what she said. God, blimey! Look at the size of you, Brucey. Oh, I wish the boys at Wallamaloo could see you now. Oh, if we could take you back home, you'd be the king of the outback.
He's coming right for us.
Let's take cover, lad. You don't want to get between old Bruce and his Vegemite.
He's doing it. He's eating the Vegemite.
Well, of course he is. It's delicious.
It's working. He's shrinking back to normal.
We're saved from that atomic kangaroo, all thanks to a chief named Hopper.
And the magic of Olivia Newton-John.
Until next time, when we journey beyond the age of reason, beyond the age of innocence, and beyond even the age of Betty White, and into the uncanny world of science and supernatural for more tales of the Atomic Age.
Bring all your dreams alive.
We're going to take a moment away from Olivia Newton-John and have a little musical interlude from our own Joshua Kirk.
Put a spell on you. Because you're mine. Stop the things you do. Hey! Watch out! I ain't lying. Yeah! I can't stand. Whoa! No running around. Can't stand. No put me down. I'll put a spell on you. Because you're mine. Yeah. Stop the things you do. I am. Yeah. I love you. I love you anyhow. I don't care if you don't want me. I say, hey, I'm yours right now. It's kind of creepy. Put a spin on you. Because you're mine. Yeah.
All pages for that?
Yeah.
Great. And now a word from our sponsor. Logo conglomerate Oats and Grains.
What's wrong, Tommy?
I'm so sad.
Why's that, Tommy?
Well, there's just so much suffering in the world. Those commercials with Sarah McLachlan and the puppies. And on top of it, my breakfast is just so gosh darn boring. All it does is sit around in the bowl.
Oh, but your health O flakes have so much fiber in them. Your doctor said they would help you with your violent mood swings, dear.
I'm never, ever gonna eat the health of flakes again. Oh, I hate you, Mom. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you.
This scene could have been avoided if you would just had super sugar snaps. Soup new sugar zap crunch. Let's try it again this time around.
Let's try again. Yeah, perfect. Okay. What's wrong, Tommy?
Mom, I'm so sad.
Why's that, Tommy?
Well, there's just so much suffering in the world, and I mean, have you seen the president's tweets today? And on top of that, my breakfast is so gosh darn boring. All it does is sit around in the bowl.
Then why don't you try new Sugar Zap Crunch?
New Sugar Zap Crunch?
That's right.
Wow! Look at all the bright, kid-friendly colors, and it's glowing.
Not only does it look great, but it tastes great too.
It's got over 100 naturalistically colored artificial flavors, and all the sugar, the dextrose, fructose, maltose, arsenic, sucrose, glucose, maltodextrin, formaldehyde, sucralose, horse matter, red number 5, high fructose corn syrup, strychnine, molasses extract, nicotine, and did I already say sugar? That your body needs to get your day started with a zap. Add that little splash of refined opiate, and your little ones will keep coming back for more.
I love you, Mom. Thank you.
And I love new Sugar Zap Crunch. Now hand Mommy her wine. She needs her breakfast too.
Side effects may include, but are not limited to, nausea, tooth decay, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea, amnesia, dry mouth, limb loss, vomiting, whooping cough, malaria, skin rash, dizziness, the jimmy legs, hallucinations, depression, euphoria, psychosis, and/or death.
And don't forget the anal leakage.
Do not operate heavy vehicles. Children may need to be forcibly restrained after eating to prevent injury. New Sugar Zap Crunch. It's a sweet, crunchy part of this otherwise nutritious breakfast. And now, it is one of our favorite parts of our show. It is one of the hallmarks of Liberty City Radio's, the first character I wrote. And tonight is the command performance of our lead star. So, without further ado, and now the story of Sassie. Sassie the Wondercat that helps her family in times of trouble. Yes, it's Sassie, America's favorite feline, and her best pal, Jenny.
Sassie the Wondercat, Sassie saves the day.
Now let's go back to a simpler time, a more gentler time, when a little girl could romp and play with her pussy cat, and no one would think it was a poorly executed dirty joke. Starring Kate Heaney as Jenny, Alexandra Rush as Jenny's mom, Joshua Kirwin as the sheriff, and special guest star, Sylvester Stallone as Sassie. Tonight's episode, Eye of the Tiger.
Oh, Sassie, I never thought I would get out of a cross-country car chase with the old moonshiners, but somehow you saved me.
Meow.
It's funny. You would think they couldn't put something like apple pie in a jar, but it tasted so good. I just fell asleep in that trunk, and next thing I knew, I was in Alabama.
Meow.
You're right, Sassy. It's a good thing I got out before that methadone attack squirrel found us. Oops, sorry, Sassy. I didn't mean to step on your tail. Look, Sassy, did you see that? It looks like a giant rainbow lollipop over the hill.
Meow.
Jenny, almost time for supper. Better come in and get cleaned up. I'm making your favorite turducken surprise. The surprise is I just stuffed cat food inside a hot dog and bake it in an old shoe. Yum.
Yes, Mama, I'll be right there. But first, I want to go over the hill and see the giant rainbow lollipop.
Wait, what? Okay, but be careful and take Sassie with you, just in case you know what happens. Oh my, I hope it's not another earthquake that leaves her stranded on a mountain crevice and nearly freezes again. That girl has been nearly eaten by coyotes 3 times already. You would think by now they'd have lost their taste for frozen dinners. Who am I talking to? There isn't anyone else here. Oh, shut up, you. That just means more turducken for the both of us.
Jenny and Sassie stroll along the gravel driveway and down the meadow where they find a giant hot air balloon tied to a tree stump. A sign reads, "Dangerous gas, beware."
That's no lollipop. It's a big, giant balloon. It's so pretty.
Meow.
And look, Sassy, it looks like there's a big picnic basket tied on the bottom. I wonder if there are any snacks inside.
Meow.
Sassie! Suddenly I think the air from the balloon is making my voice sound funny. Oh goodness, Sassie! You look so different! Oh my, you're suddenly so strong and tough looking. Who are you?
I'm your worst nightmare.
Oh my, how big and brooding you look. You look like a funny bum.
I ain't no bum, Vic. I ain't no bum. Yo, Jenny! Yeah, it's me, the Italian feline.
I don't know, Sassy Balboa. My head is so woozy. I don't know what's real and isn't anymore.
Nothing is real if you don't believe in who you are. Huh? Yo, you know what I mean?
That's too profound for me, Rambo Kitty. Maybe I should loosen just these ropes and then we can float home. But it's so warm. I'm so sleepy. I think I'll just lay down here and take a nap.
Get up. Yo, Jenny! It ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how you can get hit and keep moving forward. Get up! Yo, Jenny! Aye. Why is it always me that has to do the tango and cash to save the stupid little Deluca? I wanted to be a milkshake. But now it's time for me to be the demolition man. I gotta have the eye of the tiger to go over the top to keep this from being a cliffhanger. Otherwise, she's gonna be one of the expendables. Meow.
Meanwhile, back at the clock.
Sheriff, thank you so much for coming over. It's been hours, and Jenny and Sassie went looking for lollipops in the woods. That sounds perfectly normal, right?
Oh, don't worry, Mrs. Jenny's mom. I'm sure she's all right. She always manages to be just fine after these things, usually covered in mud and smelling like a turducken. Don't you remember last week when we found her in the deserted cabin with those 3 bears?
You're right, Sheriff. Just because my daughter wandered off into the woods hours ago and hasn't come back, I shouldn't worry. After all, she has Sassie with her.
Oh. Speaking of which, here comes Sassie now.
But Sassie, where is Jenny? Oh no, she's died of dysentery on Oregon Trail again, hasn't she?
Meow.
Oh, thank goodness. Oh, you would think by now she'd remember that you have caught the wagon and float across the Snake River, not to try to ford it in the shallow spot. But then, where could she be?
Oh, looks like somebody wants to play. But Sassie's headed right for the drawer next to your bed, Mrs. Jenny's mom. And what's she got there? It's a funny-shaped balloon.
Yes, it's a balloon. That's exactly what it is. A special kind of mommy's and daddy's balloon. Oh, Sassie, it's not time for that kind of fun. We need to find Jenny.
Yeah.
She's not playing. She's trying to tell us something, aren't you, Sassie?
Oh, look, she's blowing up. I don't even know how that's possible for a cat.
Well, she's trying to tell us that Jenny fell into a giant hot air balloon and got brain damage from the toxic gas, and then she drifted all the way to a wonderful magical land filled with little people that sing and dance and run the best little whorehouse in Texas.
Oh, dear. Not singing prostitutes. She's too young for that, even in Florida.
Meow.
Float,
Meow.
check. Strange Wizard and Munchkins, no, and that's a relief. Little people scare me. And running a musical whorehouse in Texas, no, that was Burt Reynolds, although Dolly Parton has done comedy musicals with both men, and so it's a common mistake.
Meow. Meow, meow.
As for the brain damage, well, that was probably there before the gas.
Oh my! If we don't get there soon, she could end up floating out to sea and be eaten by sharks.
Or worse yet, have to do a summer stock musical dinner theater in Tallahassee. We better hurry.
A few minutes later, just down the road, Jenny's mom and the sheriff arrived to find a balloon floating high overhead.
Look! There's a balloon! It's so far up, how will we get it down?
Whee! Hi, Mama. Hi, Sheriff.
I could try to pull it down if we could just climb that tall tree and get to the rope. Or we should jump really high. Or maybe I could get another balloon and go up and try to catch her. So, I think maybe, I could jump, and if I just get the one, and then I can just...
Sensing the urgency of the situation, and perhaps the general stupidity of the humans, Sassie jumps out of the car and paws at the sheriff's belt. Instinctively, Jenny's mom sees her and grabs the gun from the sheriff's holster and points it unsteadily at the sky.
Quick, Sheriff. Stop or my mom will shoot.
With that, the balloon floated back down to Earth, leaking its noxious gas as it drifts lower.
It's a good thing I always carry a set of girls' clothes in the trunk of my patrol car. It's a good thing I always carry a set of little girls' clothes in the trunk of my patrol car. You'd be surprised how often that comes in handy.
These things really have a lot of excess gas. How long do you think we'll have to endure like this?
That's what Mrs. Sheriff said after chili night.
Meow.
You're right, Sassie. That was enough of that. We're not chipmunks after all. It's funny, Mama. When I was up there in the balloon, I could have sworn Sassie was talking to me like a person.
Really? What did she say?
I think she wanted a milkshake.
Oh, that's a swell idea. What kind should we get?
How about Rocky Road?
Why are we laughing? Oh, right, the gas.
Tune in next week when Jenny gets lost in the Mexican Baja with special guests Antonio Banderas as the Aztec god Testacatl and Keanu Reeves as Sassie.
Well, I know Kung Fu. I am the chosen Yao.
Sassie, the Wondercat. Sassie saves the day.
Meow.
Though we're sorry to see Sassie go, we are comforted by the musical stylings of Miss Heather Blank and Joshua Kirwin. We'll see.
You may be yelling now. In the cool of the
Ideally suited for modern audiences with the attention spans accustomed to watching cat videos. And now your host, renowned literary critic and grammarian, Miss Kate Heaney.
Master of the macabre, denizen of the dark, and original weird guy that gave everyone the creeps at parties. Edgar Allan Poe may not have originated supernatural fiction, but certainly his works have risen to become the standard by which all others have been judged. Dark tales of murder, revenge, and ghosts, like The Mask of the Red Death, The Telltale Heart, The Pit and the Pendulum, and The Haunted Palace are considered cornerstones of the horror genre. Join us now for his most celebrated poem, A Tattered Tale of Bitter Loss and Sheer Terror. First published in January of 1845 and written on the back of a bar napkin after a particularly spectacular drunken night in East Baltimore. The Raven is often noted for its musicality, stylized language, and supernatural atmosphere. It tells of a mysterious visit to a distraught lover and man's slow descent into madness.
Once upon a good night really, while I pondered weak and weary. Who's there gently rapping upon my chamber door?
The Raven!
Forsooth, a harbinger of dark foreboding, I just know wherefore, thus asking, the Raven who?
Nevermore.
This has been another brief but brilliant episode of Classics Very Abridged. Join us next time when our special will be another Poe classic, The Fall of the House of Usher.
Timber!
Second half is a lot faster. And now it's the audience participation part of the show. In days of yesteryear, before streaming and 24-hour entertainment cycles, when a hit movie was popular in theaters, it would also become adapted for radio. Classic films like The Thin Man, His Girl Friday, It's a Wonderful Life were nearly as popular over the airwaves as they were at the box office. In fact, did you know that 10 years before she did her Oscar turn in A Star is Born, Judy Garland did a radio version of the same role? True story. Tonight, with your help, Mr. Michael Mallon and Miss Carolyn Oddo, we'll recreate one of the most iconic Halloween movies of all time. One of the scariest films in recent memory, and no, it's not The Great Little Toaster. For your listening pleasure, we now present Mad Libs Theater, Scream.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
Who is this?
Who are you trying to kiss?
What number is this?
What trying to reach?
I don't know.
I think you have the wrong anemone.
Do I?
It happens. I'm losing feeling in my legs. Hello?
I'm sorry. I guess I dialed the wrong Isle of Langerham.
So why did you dial it again?
To run.
You're forgiven. Bye now.
Wait, don't hang up.
What?
I want to swing to you. For an epic.
You've got Xanax for that. See ya. Hello?
Why don't you want to talk to me?
Who is this?
Tell me your name, I'll tell you mine.
I don't think so.
What's that noise?
A kazoo?
You're playing a kazoo?
Uh-huh.
I only eat liver at the movies.
I'm getting ready to watch a kitten video.
Really? Which one?
Just some Trump movie.
Do you like Trump movies?
Frankly, no.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite.
Les Miserables. You know, the one with the guy with the bra who just sort of walks around and stalks the Jamba Juice? What's yours?
Yes.
Sleepless in Seattle.
Is that the one where the guy had blenders for fingers?
Yeah, Mrs. Moss.
Mrs. Moss. That's right, I like that movie. It was scaly.
The first one was, but the rest sucked.
So, you got a mother-in-law?
Why? You want to ask me out?
Me? Do you have a mother-in-law?
No.
You never told me your name.
Why do you want to know my name?
Because I want to know who I'm baking at.
What did you say?
I want to know who I'm choking to. What do you think I said?
I have to go fart.
Wait. I thought we were going to sleep in.
No, I don't think so.
Don't pogo on me.
Gotta go.
Don't.
Yes?
I told you not to go pogoing on me.
What?
To brush your teeth.
Try someone else, okay?
You getting scared?
No, hashtag blessed. Listen, whatever.
You're so ugly. If you hang up on me again, I'll gut you like a McRib. Understand?
Is this some kind of joke?
More of a game, really.
In 2 seconds, I'm calling Josh Groban.
I'll never make it in time
What do you want?
to see what your paintings of Tibet look like.
So we thank you for your assistance with that one. Ooh, that went surprisingly well. dance and steel ourselves for chills and things that go bump in the night with our very own late-night science fiction double picture. But first, Miss Alexandra Roach.
Granny was ill the day the earth stood still, but he told us where we stand. And Flash Gordon was there in silver underwear. Claude Rains was the invisible man. Then something went wrong, for Fay Ray and King Kong, they got caught in a celluloid jam. Then at a deadly pace, it came from outer space. And this is how the message ran. Science fiction, double feature, Dr. X built a creature, see androids fighting, Brad and Janet, and Francis Starzing, Forbidden Planet, at the late night double feature picture show. I knew Leo G. Carroll was over a barrel when Tarantula took to the hills. And I really got hot when I saw Janet Scott bite a triffid that spits poison and kills. Dana Andrews said prunes, give them the rooms, and passing them use lots of skills. But when worlds collide, said George Powell to his bride, I'm gonna give you some terrible thrills, like a science fiction double feature, Dr. X built a creature, see androids fighting, Brad and Janet, and Francis Starzing, Forbidden Planet, at the late night double feature picture show. I wanna go. To the late night double feature picture show by RKO. To the late night double feature picture show in the back row. To the late night double feature picture show.
Deborah got the sign. You did really good that far.
She can sing.
find a young couple driving through a dismal wood as rain pelts their windshield.
Oh, Joe, it's such a dark and stormy night. I do hope that we get back home soon. Storms like this always make me apoplectic. No, that's not the word. Ambivalent? No. Aroused? Yes, that's it.
Don't worry, Mary. I took a shortcut that should get us there in no time. We'll be back on Elm Street, and you can drift away to dreamland before you know it.
Oh my, what was that? Have I been shot? Have you been shot? Is President Lincoln okay? Oh my.
No, I think it was a tire. I'll get out and check. It's the tire, all right. I'll have to get the spare.
Don't you remember, dear? We took it out to make room for that hitchhiker.
You're right. Now what will we do?
Hey, look over there at that big house up there on the hill. The light glowing in the window looks like a small moon.
That's no moon. Maybe they have a phone and we can call for help. Mary, you stay here. I'll go ahead.
Oh, no, you don't. You're not leaving me out here in the dark. For all you know, there might be wild animals in these woods. Or worse yet, there might be a beautiful woman in that house and you would forget all about me.
All right, come on then. But don't complain when you're all wet.
Oh, I never complain about that.
Moments later, our waterlogged couple find themselves at the door of a foreboding and crumbling estate.
Maybe nobody is home.
Yes? May I help you?
Igor, the hunchback, casts a deformed shadow over the doorway.
Well, you see, our car broke down and we were hoping we might use your phone.
I'm sorry, we don't have any phones here. Maybe you could check at the village. It's only about 14 miles down the road.
Igor, what is that? Who is there?
It is two young people looking for a telephone master. I told them to go to the village, that you would not want to be disturbed.
Oh, nonsense. Besides, look at them. They're soaked to the bones. We must let them come in and dry off.
Oh, thank you, Mr.
Dr. Roland Zachary. My friends call me the Cool. But you may just address me as Dr. Z. Welcome to the Castle Karloff. Won't you please come in and dry yourself by the fire?
Walk this way, please.
That's something to warm our guests. Some brandy and perhaps some robes from the guest quarters. Now, then, you must stay with us until the storm passes. You can join our other guests in the study once you have dried off.
Other guests?
Oh, yes. Tonight is a special night that you have stumbled upon. In fact, you might be just the perfect specimen, guest for our little entertainment. Please, warm yourselves, and I'll be back to check on you shortly.
Oh, Joe. This all seems so strange. I would feel so much safer if we had stopped at that motel we passed earlier. The review in the travel guide said it was run by a sweet old lady and her son. What I wouldn't give for a nice hot shower to relax.
Try to make the best of it. At least we are dry and can get help in the morning. And besides, maybe this doctor and the guests will be fun.
That's what you said when we went camping down at Crystal Lake. Oh, Joe, what did he mean when he said specimen?
Probably just a slip of the tongue. He's a man of science of some kind, I am sure. And he's just got his words mixed up.
What was that? Somebody screamed.
swelling depths of the ancient estate, Dr. Zachary consults with Igor and his enormous resurrected creature made from the parts of the dead. His skin is green, his form grotesque, his eyes are the eyes of a puppy dog that you take home and you love and you squeeze till it pees on the rug and you say, bad dog, bad dog. But he doesn't know what you mean, but you love him anyway. Oh, I'm sorry. Mad doctor, fiendish plot, private laboratory filled with buzzing electrodes and boiling beakers of embalming fluid.
At last, I can complete my work on you, my much maligned melange of missing parts. These two good-looking young people may have just unwittingly become the final pieces of our experiment. Finally, I will be able to undo the damage to your brain.
Old brain, bad. New brain, good.
Yes, my grotesque friend. I know you have allowed too much TV to rot your brain.
Me want to understand great mysteries of universe. Like why people think Mumford and Sons good bad. Just same song over and over. Sound like nobody knows when song ends. Me not think they even related. No.
Indeed, my boy. Soon, with your new brain, you'll be able to unravel any riddle. You'll be able to unravel any riddle for any individual. But I'm not sure, even then, you'll be able to solve that mystery. And that homely young girl may be useful to our fairy lady friend when she arrives.
Oh, full moon lady.
Yes.
Me like her when she for real. Remind me of Cocker Spaniel me love when alive.
Yes, and if there are any spare parts left, maybe I can fix poor Igor's hunch.
What did you say, Master?
And then I can fix your hunch.
Roast beef on rye with pickles, onions and mayo, and then maybe a little side of clams. And the side potato salad, please.
Oh, that joke more bad than brain.
Yeah, these fools, they all laughed at me. They laughed at me in Prague. They laughed at me in Budapest.
They didn't laugh at you in Philadelphia, Master.
Philadelphia, tough town. Hard to get laughs.
Igor, someone is at the door. Go and attend to them.
Yes, Master. Good evening, madam. Boy, you're looking foxy as ever. My master is expecting you.
Oh, Igor, you impetuous little boy. How's your hunch today?
Well, your guess is as good as mine.
I do trust that the doctor has been working on a cure for my condition. It's a full moon out tonight, and you know what that means.
That the bars will be full of drunks making poor decisions, or that the streets will run with blood.
Well, after I transition and transform into a she-wolf, a little from column A and followed by some of column B, you know what they say.
Oh, I was reading last month about a she-wolf running through the streets of London, terrorizing the city. That wouldn't have been you, would it?
Oh, Igor, you're so gauche. I would never be seen in London this time of year.
Oh, too damp.
No, the food is terrible.
Oh, like the shepherd's pie and the Yorkshire pudding.
No, the shepherds and the Yorkshire men.
I will tell the master at once. Won't you wait in the parlor? We have some unexpected guests I must attend to.
Snacks.
voluptuous.
I could have sworn I saw the eyes move in that painting.
Now that's enough. No one here is going to kill us and use our bodies for strange and evil permanents to be undead.
Are you sure? That's what you said when we went to Voodoo Island for spring break and you almost became a zombie.
If you're all dried off, won't you join the other guests in the parlor? I'm sure they're eager to eat. I mean, meet you.
Meanwhile, high above in the bell tower of the mansion, another visitor has just arrived, flapping in on the wings of a bat.
Good evening, Count. Won't you please come in?
I thought you would never ask. It was a long flight from the village, and the boy at my arm's tired.
What did you say? Could you repeat that?
Why should I repeat it? It didn't really get a laugh the first time.
The children of the night. What a beautiful music they make.
No, that would be Miss Talbot, and she's joining us this evening.
Oh, the lovely lady lycanthrope. She can bury my bone anytime.
As well as your old friend, Raman Hoptep.
Oh, I haven't seen that old Egyptian since he was destroying crusaders in Cairo for stealing from the tombs of the undead. Why, that must have been 300 years ago. What's the special occasion for bringing us all together?
I believe this will be our opportunity to be rid of our greatest enemy.
Gingivitis.
No. The despicable Professor Van Helsing. You see, I let it be known that we all would be in one place and knew that he could not resist. But I have a plan in place that should free us from his interference forever.
Excellent, my good doctor. Excellent. It will be good to finally get a good day's rest without worrying that someone is going to shove a stake through your heart. What's the plan?
See, his modus operandi is to try to destroy each of us one at a time, but never all at once. I calculated that our combined strength and genius should be able to overwhelm him. Maniacal laugh.
We now join our guests at the dinner party of the damned.
Welcome, friends, old and new. It is my pleasure to welcome you all. These guests are Mary and Joe. They have joined us unexpectedly. Let me introduce you to Wanda Talbot. She comes from a long pedigree of werewolves.
That's crazy. There's no such thing as werewolves.
Even a woman who's pure in heart and says her prayers by night may become a wolf when the wolfbane blooms and the moon is bright.
Your heart was never too pure.
Even so, do you have any idea how terrible it is every month to go through the same cycle that makes you filled with the urge to kill and maim all the men around you and ruin all your favorite outfits with blood?
Boy, do I ever, sister.
And this is Raman Hoptep, once a prince in faraway Egypt.
Kind of falling on hard times, pal. You look a little ragged for a prince.
Nice fella. Kind of a strong, silent type.
They removed his tongue when he was buried alive so that Ra could not hear his screams.
Oh, is that it? I thought he was just shy.
And this is Count Aquilar from Transylvania. Thank you for bringing the drinks tonight, Count.
Charmed to meet you, my dear.
My goodness, this wine is rich and thick. I've never had anything like it.
We get it from a special vein in Carpathia.
Did he say vein?
I'm sure he meant vine, like a vineyard. Like, it's his accent. Try to be nice.
So now why we have brought you all here tonight?
Suddenly, the door bursts open. I say, suddenly, the door bursts open. Suddenly, the window is smashed. And in through the window leaps the dangerous Professor Von Helsing, unholy crusader for making America without breeches great again, and voted most in high school most likely to own a casino and still lose money.
At last, I finally have all of you here together so we can drain this swamp and deport you back to whatever country you came from, which I presume is Mexico. And, this country isn't meant for people like you. It's for normal, regular people, and that's like me.
Deranged Cheeto?
No, Anglo-Saxon Protestants.
Since when are you a Protestant?
Since it became more opportunistic for me to do so.
Listen, you. We're not going to stamp your patriarchal web of cruelty designed to keep minorities like vampires, werewolves, and undead from a chance to live free from your oppression.
No one asked you, lady, okay? You're not even good-looking enough for me to pretend that I listen to your ideas. What's wrong, Mummy? Basket got your tongue? Must be some kind of Islamic curse, you know. Haji.
He's Egyptian, not Muslim, not racist.
Listen, I am the least racist person that I know. Believe me. And by the way, I know you guys appreciate me going off script, but I am the least racist person that I know. I really am. And I'm also the classiest and the smartest, and I've got just the place for all of you. I built a ugly, bigly prison out in the desert, and it's surrounded by a huge, beautiful wall. Huge, just like my hands. And you should see this wall. It's like the perfect tent. It's just the place for all of you bad hombres, right? It's the best it's ever, just like this.
And not if we have anything to say about it. Get there!
Okay, so I'm going to pause here, because usually at this point in a horror movie, things kind of come off the rails a little bit. And it's a lot of visuals, it's a lot of explosions, a lot of chasing. So I'm going to try to sum up a little bit and see if we can't move the script along. We started a little late, so we're going to try to get a little ahead. So let me check that one out. That one out. Just keep up with me over there. Okay, here we go. Wanda catches sight of the moon through a skylight above, transforming her into her woodland form. And she goes wild, tearing the place apart. Van Helsing waves a torch at the monster, and he goes berserk, tearing the place apart.
Hulk smash!
That's close enough. The mummy really doesn't do much, really. He just kind of lumbers around, slowly. Yes, he lumbers around, he's very menacing and very scary. Okay, the mummy gets around page 3 by knocking a book off the shelf. Very scary.
Hey, this isn't supposed to how it's supposed to happen. You're all supposed to be attacking him, not destroying my home.
I told you it's like the Democratic debates. You get so many people in a room, and they forget who they're trying to beat, and make a mess of things.
Count, you do something?
The Count tries to attack Van Helsing, but is thwarted by a crucifix.
The power of me compels you. The power of me compels you.
It compels me to kvetch, all right. I do this.
University of Phoenix.
The creatures continue to rage, but to no avail against a bully by the likes of Van Helsing, as he forces them into a corner with a torch.
Now that I have you cornered, I am going to just keep insulting you until next November, and everyone forgets about anything else that I could have done. What do you think of that, Pedro?
Which one of us does he think is Mexican?
What about us? What do we do?
Well, usually the leading man,
That's me.
well, usually the leading man either gets knocked out in the head and misses all the action, or he saves the day by burning down the whole place.
The second one?
Nope.
What do I do?
Traditionally, you scream and wait to be saved.
Not today, Buster.
But suddenly, Mary grabs a sword hanging from the wall. Van Helsing pulls out the hilt of his cane to reveal a rapier.
You know, you're quite good at that for a woman.
I ought to be. I studied for almost 3 weeks at Fencing Academy in Philadelphia.
In a flash, Mary knocks the sword from Van Helsing's hand.
My big hands.
With one fell swoop, takes off both of his legs clean off. The gore is terrible. It's really awful. I mean, there's blood just everywhere. Be glad this is radio and you cannot see it.
But I was supposed to be the hero of this story. I was trying to save the world from all these monsters.
The only monster I see is you. You come to a party you weren't invited to, you ruined our nice dinner, insulted Wanda, hurt the poor mummy's feelings, and to top it all off, you didn't even wipe your feet when you came in. Manners are an important part of a civilized society, after all.
That was quite the defeat, young man. I'm glad I didn't dissect you after all.
What did he say? Did we win?
Don't worry, dear. Go back to sleep. We're among friends now.
Suddenly, the door opens and a strange young woman bursts forth, screaming.
Help! Help!
Shocked by the madness and all the gore, I mean, it's really a mess in there. She faints and falls to the floor.
Who was that?
Oh, that's the hitchhiker we picked up. We were going to sacrifice her to our pagan gods later. You're all welcome to come by. We'll have Cheez-Its and Rice Krispie treats, and afterwards we can all play Twister. Well, maybe not the professor.
What was that terrible sound?
Oh, that my wife. Sorry, honey. I'll be right out.
Come on, Francis. We're gonna be late. We're having dinner at the Millers tonight. Oh, hello, Wanda. Love what you did with your hair. All of it. Nice to meet you, Count Amenhotep Igor. Looks like all of you have kept my husband very, very busy tonight. Let's go, Babushka. We gotta stop at Murray's and pick up a vodka on the way. Is that what you're gonna wear? Boy, at least wash your feet and dust yourself off. You look like you've been lying around in the grave all day. I swear. I know they said till death do us part, but we're already dead the day we met, so I don't really know why I put up with all your shenanigans. All of these days, and one day, we're gonna just pack our bags and move away from this town.
Oh, we hear Colorado. Nice this time of year.
No, Sassie, no.
And crawling on the planet's face, some insects called the human race. Lost in time, lost in space, and me. The rest of it is up to you. These are for you. We've been saving it for you. Get back into the participation, pass them around, please.
All right. All right.
Good job. Turn off counting.
It is my great pleasure to thank you all for being here with us tonight, our 9th production. Thank you to my wonderful cast, Michael Mallon, Heaney, Deluca, Alexandra, on the keys all night is Kirwin, Oddo, and for the last time tonight, Mr. James P.V.Miller. I said in the program, and I mean it sincerely, these people make me better when I'm not.
Look at what you see in her face, the mirror of your dreams. Make believe I'm everywhere, given in the light. Written on the pages is the answer to a never-ending story. Never-ending story. Reach the stars, fly like the sea. Dream a dream, and what you see will be the rhymes that keep their secrets will unfold behind the clouds, and there upon a rainbow is the answer to a never-ending story.
Hey, James, everybody! Story!
Exile, thanks again, Miss Christina Doidge, for her encore. If you had a good time tonight, please tell people on the internet, tell your friends, tell people you don't like, you want to just come and have a good We'll find a home eventually. You look for us online and we'll find a place and we'll do this again real soon. But thank you for coming tonight. Happy Halloween and good night.